All right, so yeah, we're gonna talk about the thing that I'm sure that you're all kind of excited. You've all wanted me to give my thoughts on. Um, yeah. So we're gonna talk about the announcement for 3 new Star Wars movies that are not gonna be connected. They're not a new trilogy. It's not like they're gonna have a director direct the trilogy every time, then one director leaves due to creative differences, and then the previous director from the first movie comes back and directs a very piss-poor finale to a trilogy. That's not happening at all. Apparently, we are getting 3 different movies from 3 different directors, which I feel like we should have done from the beginning. But whatever. First off, no J.J. Abrams. I'm very excited for that. I am very excited at the thought of no J.J. Abrams in these fucking movies to do with anything in these movies. So, yeah, we're going to talk about the big news for last. But what we are going to talk about is we're going to go through the other 2 first. Now, it has been announced that James Mangold is going to be directing a pre-Old Republic movie, like set way before the Old Republic, and it's going to deal with the origins of the Force. More or less talk about, like, I would imagine the first Jedi and the first Sith. Now, that's a movie that's always been kicked around. Like, that's a movie I think we've all kind of expected we've all expected Disney to talk about that. Like, that was a movie I also think a lot of people have wanted for the longest time, was a movie talking about, you know, the origin of the Force. Even though, yes, it has been talked about in great detail in comics. But the thing of it is that we haven't really seen a... and that's a movie we've always kind of seen, and always one we suspected Disney would get at. And I imagine that's what Rian Johnson's... Excuse me. I suspect that was what Rian Johnson was going to do with his movies. But Rian Johnson's no longer... Which kind of sucks, because I really liked Last Jedi, even though Rise of Skywalker really poisoned it for me. But, c'est la vie. This one will be directed, like I said, by James Mangold, who... I was like, oh, so they liked Dial of Destiny so much. They were like, hey, James, don't leave the office yet. Come back. So that'll be really cool. I'm really excited about that. So, I think that's the one I'm more excited about, mostly because it's James Mangold attached to a Star Wars movie than anything else. But here's the one everyone's going to be talking about. Dave Filoni is directing his own Star Wars movie. First off, hats off to Dave Filoni from being just a writer for cartoons and now directing a Star Wars movie. I think that's really good. And I've never really hated the guy, but I've also felt that Dave Filoni's been kind of overhyped. And I know I'm going to be sounding like a minority here. And I'm not saying he didn't do anything for Star Wars. He did a lot for Star Wars. And he has continued to do a lot for Star Wars. The problem, and this is like I just talked about in the Ahsoka trailer, where Filoni has this problem where he doesn't let go of characters. He always seems to like drag it out and let it stay around. And I know what you're thinking, but Multi, that's how we get new characters in Star Wars. Yeah, but at the same time, like, you're just giving more plot armor to a character, and I don't feel any... That's why I like Ahsoka. Like I've said one too many times, Ahsoka has been around longer than she needed to be. And it's not anything to do with the character, it's just, I mean, with the, you know, it's not to do with anything else, but like, Ahsoka has been here. I feel like her story arc is now just like, Filoni just really likes Ahsoka. That's really it. That's what it's come to. I will say that what we're probably going to be getting, because his movie is going to be set between Force Awakens and The Mandalorian. So what I think this is going to be is a kind of an Heir to the Empire movie. I think that's what he's building to with The Mandalorian and the Ahsoka show. I think what's going on is that he's going to be doing like a Heir to the Empire. I will give Filoni and Favreau credit that they're not like trying to fuck over the sequel trilogy by, and I know like fans are like, oh, Favreau and Filoni are gonna retcon the original trilogy and all that. It's gonna save Star Wars, when literally they've been putting building blocks in for everything we saw in the sequel trilogy. I really love that. Like, it's obvious they're doing that. I think that's a good thing, because Filoni, and to his credit, and also we got to give credit to Tartakovsky and everyone who worked at Dark Horse at the time. Filoni's just like, as much as I have a problem with Filoni as a writer and like just doesn't know when to let things go, I will say that Filoni has done a lot of credit for Star Wars in that I think what he's going to be doing like in a few years, we're going to look back on the sequel trilogy, probably not with the most love, but it's going to be like the prequel trilogy all over again, where the prequel trilogy had its problems. It still has its problems, guys. But when you look at all the extra lore that went behind it, now we have new appreciation for it. And also the endless amount of memes. The memes also help, let's be real. So I think that's, so I gotta give a lot of love for Filoni for like not being like, no, we're retconning everything, you know, we're low key, it's a soft reboot of everything. No, he's literally saying, this is canon, fucking deal with it. So my hat's off to Favreau. I may have my problems with him as a writer, but I gotta give I gotta give credit where credit is due. So, yeah, I'll see what he can do in a movie. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be the Easter egg special. I'm sure it's just going to be, look how many Easter eggs I can put in a movie, because that's what he really relies on sometimes. That's another problem I have, is that he relies... Well, and I get it, he's a fan, I understand. I think I just rhymed there. But, like, he relies a little too much on Easter eggs, I feel like. But, yeah. So yes, I know what you all wanted me to talk about. The other major announcement for what looks to be the start of a new Star Wars trilogy. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the return of Rey. Yep, Rey is coming back and is it is going to be set 15 years after the Rise of Skywalker. And we're getting to the start of a new saga. They haven't said that this is going to be the start of a new saga, I should say. At least, I don't think they said it was going to be the start of a new saga, but let's be real, this is probably the start of a new trilogy. And what it is more or less the start of a new Star Wars franchise, with Daisy Ridley coming back as Rey. Now, I'm actually excited, because if they said like J.J. Abrams was coming back, I'd have been like, hard pass. Hard fucking pass. But no, it's a completely new director. I don't know their work, but I'm like, oh, new director. Cool. Actually, wait, I think I know. It's the director from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, I think it is the director from I think it is the director from Everything Everywhere All at Once. You know, the movie that just won an Oscar? And several other Oscars, yeah. So I'm really excited for that. I know it will probably be it will be like oversighted to hell by corporate, and for all we know, this announcement could be null and void because the director could easily leave in a few years as of this recording. But yeah, so but the main thing is Daisy Ridley is coming back, and I already saw like people like, oh no, the Mary Sue is back. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Okay, Rise of Skywalker was really bad because J.J. Abrams can't fucking direct a sequel to save his goddamn life. Did y'all forget Star Trek Into Darkness? That was not good. And Abrams, I think, is a little overhyped as a director, personally. I think that there were problems with Rey's characters, but I think that was more of the writing. And also, you Reylo shippers disgust me. You guys personally ruined the movie for that kiss scene, that forced kiss scene between Rey and Kylo made me want to throw up, because you goddamn shippers ruined that movie. That movie, I could have walked out of there it was okay, not the favorite. Then the kiss happened. I'm like, oh, fuck that, fuck all of that. So yeah, so hopefully Ben Solo doesn't come back as a clone or a Force ghost. I don't need any of that in my life. I just want, and Rey is now the new Grand Master of this new Jedi Order. All right, cool. I think she's a little young, but maybe that's the point, is that Rey is technically now the last Jedi, so there's really no one else to call herself Grand Master. So, of course, like, she's gonna call herself Grand Master, and maybe we can actually get back to that plot line of that kid with the Force powers at Last Jedi. I will praise this movie to high heaven if this movie goes back and, like, does damage control and goes back to the stuff from Last Jedi. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm actually, like, I'm also, like, choked up a bit when Daisy Ridley walked out, because you could see on her face in that video where she was, like, scared and nervous when she first walked out. Then people were, like, shooting out of their chairs and, like cheer. There was not, I think there were boos. I'm pretty sure there were boos, but they were drowned out by all these people, like, cheering and, like, jumping out of their seats and, like, applauding and screaming for her. I'm like, that's Star Wars. That's Star Wars right there. So, anyway, yeah, I'm just happy that we don't have an Abrams-directed Star Wars movie, let's be real. That's all I'm happy about. If you're, like I said, the movie I'm most excited for of these three is the James Mangold one. Sucks that we're not getting the Rian Johnson movies, but what can you do? But you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of these new Star Wars announcements? Are you guys excited? Are you guys not? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.